Mic check. All right, boy. All right. Sorry about that. We were streaming there for a minute, for like 2 minutes without sound. Uh, what's the weather outside?
It's currently clear and 72 degrees.
Clear and 72 degrees. A week ago, it was 90 degrees, and now it's getting dark. So let's cut this on, and let's kick the kicker, and let's go over some stuff. All right. So yesterday we talked about Lieutenant Colonel Schiller, and now the media is talking about it. So I think we're ahead of the group, like we always are. But I'm still having trouble with my music. All I did today with between the both. Let's tilt this down a little bit, like what I likes to do, so you can see the guitar. All I did today was play guitar badly. That's the magic word. See, if I tilt it too far down, I've got the Chiron running across my forehead. Ooh, here we go. Really, the inverted image really throws me off apps. All right, so wrong side. I knew it. Raise this up a little bit. Hey, William. Good to see you. Hey, William. Do you play an instrument? I actually might need to put something under my foot if I'm going to be this high up. What do I have? You know what I have? I have a step stool tool chest. Where am I going to put that when I'm done? I'm no. You know what? This whole thing. What did Jack Nicholson say in the first Batman? This town needs an enema. This whole apartment needs an enema. Ah, I got you. Hey, good to see you. Edwards in the chat. Am I gonna go get that? I don't really want to go get that. This whole area has to be cleaned by this Sunday. Um, there's a lot going on in this apartment. A lot going on. Uh, but yeah, I think this Saturday, it's Thursday. I think this Saturday stream is going to be a guitar stream because I'm running into kind of things I want to talk about. Played the fluophone in the third grade. What is a fluophone? All right, we got to pull that up. This may be a loose chat about music. So, favorite song. It's sad because when we talk about music, we can't ever talk about anything that we could play. Let's put this up. What's your best discipline? The discipline that called to me first was art. So I was always painting and drawing before I could write. But I think I'm beginning to think. Let's tilt this up so my camera is in my head. I'm beginning to think that these things make you think slightly differently, right? So like you can think one way, but if you speak like a second language, I think it uh ad- sort of adjusts or widens how you think, let's say. And if you play an instrument, and it depends on the instrument too, right? Percussion is different than like xylophones or harpsichords. Um, I think if you're good at math, that changes how you think too, right? If you mess with, uh, yeah. But at this point, I'm trying to. I want to. Well, I need to improve on the things that, like my first discipline, like art. I need to be a better art painter. We talked a little bit about that courtroom artist yesterday. Uh, but I think it's for me now at this stage of my days. I feel like I wasted a lot of time trying to change the world for the better. So now I'm just going to try and change me for the better. A little more art, a little more cooking. I love to cook too. Um, yeah, let's. I was actually thinking about math today. I'm bad at math, and I always hated the fact that I was bad at math. So I was actually thinking about running toward a Goodwill and getting like high school algebra book or something, super basic, just to crunch my brain, just to kind of prove that I can still do these weird and ridiculous things. But I am having trouble with this guitar playing for the simple thing that I'll show you. I need this finger to do more this, and it doesn't want to do that. So when I kink it like that, it's it doesn't have any real strength to kind of really push down on this C key right here, right? In my C. This C right here, if I take this off, yeah, but when I try and throw it up there, it's no bueno. I guess that is true, right? And here's the thing, that is definitely true. The idea that there's only a handful of people who write songs for you, whether you like them or not, seems to me to be a bit crazy. What if music was different? Because now you don't need a record label or a manager. You might still need an engineer, but you could put this up on so many websites. I mean, that's how what's that guy? Nas X, right? He put it up on a website, and people just kept downloading it, and it made him like rich, and then it got him nominated for a Grammy, right? So he went from working, I think he was worked at a clothing store, something like that, stocking shelves. So that's the magic of it. So if you sing gospel, right? I'm really interested in being a acoustic Bob Dylan sort of person in the second stage of my life, like right, cute little songs for like my friends, and I'm not trying to be, but the magic of that is I will have picked up music, and that's what the point of this is. Uh, why did I start painting? Now that I'm thinking about why, I know why I moved to music to get away from, but why? I mean, I was never going to sell any of those paintings. I think I wanted to do it because I oh, who's Vermeer, right? King of Light, that guy. I was like, man, like I can't draw a person's face, but I didn't like watercolors drawing fruit, but I did like bold splashes of color on a canvas, like that one back there. It's 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 essentially the sun that I never finished, right? But it's blue and it's black and it's yellow and it's right. I like that. I like Keith Haring. Keith Haring's art was just a red figure laced in black, and a yellow figure laced in black on a bright red ground with a yellow background. And you're sitting at there, and it's just fucking awesome. Oh, excuse me, it's just gosh darn awesome. I do like this. We're gonna like this because that is awesome. We're gonna put it up again because that's true of all of us. James Pankow of Chicago played the trombone. I like the horn, like Abel's that Abelson like riff that they use every Sunday morning. I've always loved like the trumpet. It reminds me, I guess, of like Blue Sky and Angels. I guess I'm so, you know, but yeah. But nowadays, this is funny that I never did. One of those things I thought about but never did. I heard that the military needed buglers. This is a long time. And I used to smoke, and I was like, I should give up smoking and take up the bugle, right? Because it falls into music. Me trying to. This is also my closeted musician coming out, right? Always wanted to play instrument. Never actually disciplined myself. Never got around to it. Never was in a room with an instrument, right? And anybody would tell me what to do about it. So you just love music as you not partake in music, right? So that's kind of like, so this is me now trying to actually kind of have fun with music. I forgot my train of thought. Anyway, uh, it's why I mean, art. I think art is is therapy in a lot of it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't need so many pills and shit if you just got rid of the stress another way. I mean, that and of course exercising and eating right. But nobody's perfect, right? So I used to exercise a lot and eat meh, whatever. Now I don't exercise at all. Uh, and I have to, but I still sort of eat meh, whatever, right? Yeah, I'm never going to be a vegan. I'm never going to be a vegetarian. I like my fried, there's not a lot of it, but fried French fries. One of the greatest things God ever gave to people is French fries, right? But I get it. Some people are absolutists and they don't, uh, and don't get me wrong, some stuff you shouldn't truck with, and that's up to you. But a lot of people, stuff that I would call everyday regular stuff, they don't mess with. Um, and everybody's different, right? And that's the magic of it. So I like this. So uh I didn't have Chinese food. Instead, what I did was I had Italian wedding bean soup, and I keep rice in the fridge because I like to just throw it in an egg and make fried rice, or uh, throw it in soups to like stock it up, stuff like this. So I just had like that and like uh, that soup with and andouille sausage that I gave a quick flash fry, burned up, threw that in there, and that was dinner. This year started out with me saying I wasn't going to order out at all, and I ended up ordering out a lot. Um, and, but it's still cut down, though, right? So let's say if I ordered out, uh, I'm telling you, there were times there where I would order out every night for like 6 months. Well, not 6 months, but like easily like 3.5 months, right? Um, Usually, beginning of spring through summer, I don't cook because I'm always running. But yesterday, I mean, it was like I'm not cook, man. Here's the thing about that. I have everything I need to make uh uh General Tso's chicken in the pantry. I've got uh fish sauce and freaking, yeah, because I like to fiddle in the kitchen. I got to walk in there, but it it takes that long to cook. I would have had to throw out the strip sirloin that I have in there. And I was just kind of like, no, we're not going to spend any money on stuff we have here, right? What we're going to do is make something quick and dirty that I don't have to wait for somebody to deliver during a pandemic, right? And so yeah, I had uh, Italian wedding bean soup with andouille sausage and about half a cup of rice to give it like a thickness, and that was dinner. And then I binged Stargirl on the WB and streamed it because I was like, oh my, I kind of like the show, but I was like, oh man, it's September, and I missed like 6 episodes, so I watched like 4 yesterday, and that was it. That was it. That was my day. Um, and I'm sort of glad, right? Because I was tempted to rent Dune uh, on Amazon, and I mean that's, you know, it's a couple of bucks, but I didn't spend it, right? And I didn't order Chinese food through DoorDash, which would have cost me $30 and gave the guy $3, and it would have got here in 40 minutes. So I'm sort of proud of myself that just for yesterday, I kept it together. But now that you remind me, like I was like, beef lo mein. And I was like, but it's been, man, I hate to say it, I haven't ordered a lot of Chinese food since the pandemic. Um, when I get it, it's pizza, it's super hot, right? Um, and I don't get a lot of that because I hate to say it, but pizza is not awesome here. I hate to be the one to say it. Um, and maybe I'm a pizza snob, but to me, you have to be able to bend it like a right, like this. the triangle, and the bottom shouldn't crack, and the bottom shouldn't also be so doughy that it's fundy, and it's yeah. I mean, I think maybe the stoves aren't hot enough. Yes, the Chinese food is different in New York. It's better, and I've had this conversation, and I will tell you why. All the restaurants in New York City are better. Period. And that's for one simple rule. It's a small place. So if your food sucks, you're gonna go out of business, right? There's a good Chinese food spot on every corner, essentially. Good pizza spots on every corner, essentially. If you have the worst pizza, no one's going back to you because it's not hard to get. So now everybody has to be at least have to be good at what they're doing. If you're selling lasagna and someone else has a better lasagna, you may not get lasagna from there. You may get their cannolis or whatever. But the everyday piece of give me like it used to be $1 slice, which is you're just supposed to be able to grab and get it. Nobody's gonna want that, you know, and you don't have to get it from that guy. And I mean, you know what? I never had bad pizza until I left New York. I thought bad pizza. Uh, what's that saying? Uh, have what is it? Pizza is like sex. Bad pizza is like sex, right? You still got pizza. You know what I'm saying? It's like you still had sex. It's like you still got pizza. Uh, but yeah, down here I don't even order pizza anymore. It's just not awesome. It makes you go, what the fuck, man? What the hell is this you sending me? Uh, but that's it. So I think the problem here is I haven't found a good pizza place because I know that there are good pizza cooks in every place. But my thing is in New York, if your restaurant is bad, no matter what it is, it's going to go out of business because right around the corner is another restaurant just like it. You're not going to find 1,000 different lasagnas, but you may find one that's super, super great, right? But when you find the one that's bad, no one goes to that restaurant anymore. And that's why I think New York City restaurants are better, just because here in this my hometown, I may have 50 pizzerias. There, around the same distance, I've got 2,000. And word of mouth travels when your food is bad. So yeah, I think the Chinese food and the pizza is very different there. Um, I like the sandwiches here. Like the sandwich makers here, there was only Blimpies and Subways. And of the two, Blimpies was my favorite. I hate to say it. But then they went downhill, right? Because everybody wanted like a quick burger, but then you cut up all this stuff and you just sat it there and it just turned all day, and then you throw it out on like the next day. You brought it back out and picked out So eventually the like, but here it's the shit is always fresh. I don't think they traffic in enough lettuce and tomatoes and burger like uh they don't traffic it enough in New York. But here it's the sandwiches are always mwah. And the reason I had to slow down with those because they're cold. They're cold cuts, cold sandwiches. Even though some of them, there's a place down here that makes them hot. But but yeah. And every time I go back, I always make it a point to have Chinese food and a pizza in New York. But things change. No, I mean, that's the point. I like you move away. It's not supposed to be the place you left. It's supposed to be a different place. But yeah, the food is definitely different. Oh, what time was sunset?
Sunset tomorrow will be at 6:47 p.m.
6:47, baby. All right. Let's run through some news. Me squawking about oddly enough, playing the guitar. My weakest finger is not my pinky. It's my pointer. Yeah, my weakest finger. I'm embarrassed by it. And I still can't hold the pick. I was trying today, and I can't seem to get the right to hold the pick. And I can't get the damn guitar to when I watch people on in these tutorials, they sit there with a guitar like this, and they do all this. I can't even do it. They do all this emoting and gesturing, and the damn thing doesn't move. It's like it's glued to their like torso. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, wow, I got a long road ahead of me. So the DHS, Home Department of Homeland Security, unveils a new limits on immigration arrest and deportation. You're going to limit how many people you arrest, so everyone else gets to stay. I don't understand this. I'm not even going to read it because it sounds ridiculous. COVID is killing rural Americans at twice the rate of urbanites. Okay. Kaiser Health News. I've never heard of them. The case of the first alleged ransomware death. So hackers hit a hospital and a baby died. Former addict, astounding transformation to college graduate. Here's the thing. Now I'm not even going to go there. And in November 2020, Israel's Secret Service assassinated a prominent Iranian scientist. That's the shit that I don't like, right? You're sneaking into people's countries, murdering people, but you're not like any of these other countries that we would attack for that. How are you our allies doing shit like this? Why do we have to back that up? Right? Can you imagine if the Iranians I think they weren't they going to kill somebody here, and America warned them that don't you play this game in here. Um, there's been a couple of political assassinations on American soil that people all say shit about. Prince Harry had cigarettes and alcohol oozing from every pore, says Katie Couric. Is this some news story or this when he was? Look, man, some of these rich people have rebellious spirits, and you put them in a cage, right? So, but then it makes their personality combative for their whole life, right? He was a big drinker and smoker in an age where drinking and smoking is known to be bad, right? The 80s. I mean, how old is that guy? 30? Some people don't want to be rich and famous when they're rich and famous. Some people, like a lot of these people, leave Hollywood never to be, you know what I'm saying? So not everybody's trying to get their careers back. Some people made a ton of money and then left, bought a ranch back in their hometown of Wyoming or wherever. And they're like, yeah, no, I was in Hollywood for X, Y years. I did 10 movies and now I'm just doing this. You know what I mean? But when you cut on the TV, it makes it seem like everybody wants to be there, right? And now it looks like everybody would love to be a prince, but he was a prince, and he was like, and mind you, he lost his mom when he was little, right? The father is notoriously not well for not showing emotion. That family, right? So maybe he was an emotional, needy, hug me kind of kid, and he had to grow up stoic and dark, and you know, and now all he wants to do is be left alone. And you start doing that by drinking, and especially at that level, you got an army watching you, making sure no one bothers you, and you have all the money in the world. So why wouldn't you drink with your homies? Shit, I would. But he was in the military too, right? Isn't that hard knock life in it? Those guys aren't known to be debutantes. They're fucking soldiers, for God's sakes. That whole thing is to me is just so fucked up. That you're driven out of your country. You know, they should have stayed there. That's just what I think. Mike Lindell. Wow. So tomorrow is the 1st of October. It begins the Halloween season. I looked out my window. My neighbor has her Christmas tree up. I was like, are you with lights on it? There are lights on it. That's why I noticed it. And I was just kind of like, that's not a Christmas tree, is it? It's amazing. Christmas trees up. That's, y'all don't believe me. I should run out there and take a picture of it. The Lord God, praise God. More birds going extinct. Boy, whew. Maybe what happened to the dinosaur was that they ran around and killed off everything. And then they just died out. And then they fell where they fell because there was no food. And then while they were dead, a fucking comet came through and slammed into the place. Illuminati hotties. What the fuck is an Illuminati hottie? A few years ago, in the early stage of Illuminati hottie, a funny thing will happen when your post about the band on social media, inadvertently you'd get a follow request from a few spammers ready to recruit you into an ancient brotherhood, an absurdist unintended consequence for a band name chosen on a whim. Oh, that's the band's name. Illuminati Hottie. That is a band. That is a good name for a band. I think the best name for a band I think I've ever heard in my life is Soundgarden. When I first heard that name, I just went, oh, what a great name for a band. And this was a million years ago. Uh, I mean, because what else are you doing? Right? It gives you the idea that you're cultivating something. Soundgarden. They only had what, one good song and two albums, I think. Well, at least before I lost interest. Illuminati Hottie. Yeah, we're not gonna read it. All right. What else do we have here? Okay. Wait, hold on. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Lamar will perform at the Super Bowl. That's a lot of rap for the Super Bowl. I don't. Oh, oh boy. I mean, Aladdin Broadway show cancels performance due to COVID-19 one night after official return. Yeah, I hate to be the one to say it, but a lot of this opening will be closing shortly because it's a fucking pandemic. And I know you need to make money, but it's a fucking pandemic. A lot of shit should be closed, in my humble opinion, but we don't talk about COVID. And by the way, we're just reading headlines here, so don't fucking bang me. Um, the bill for his COVID test in Texas was a whopping $54,000 to get to. What if you didn't have it? That's ridiculous. To combat meth, California will try a bold treatment, pay drug users to stop. What is the fucking point of living the straight and narrow if you keep rescuing? I mean, I just need a little help here, right? Like a business loan or some shit. But no. Instead, a fight breaks out outside of Brian Landry's family home as protesters descend on property. Oh, we're back to the days of mobs. All right, good. Let them march on everybody then. I mean, we read that story about the soldier blinded yesterday, right? So, One student shot by another student at an elementary school. How old are you in elementary school? 10. 10, right? It goes up to the fifth grade. You start school at 5. So what are you, like 10? People need to fix this. You know what? There's too much violence on television. Good Lord. I've got to tell you that there's a case in England, Sarah Everhart, and she was just kidnapped and murdered by like a psycho who was a cop. That would be a bigger story had this girl not gone disappeared because she's a pretty white lady. But why go there when you got here? Because remember, there's so much news on TV, most of it is bullshit, right? If you went back to like news in the morning, the 4 o'clock news, and then the late afternoon news, there'd be plenty. But everybody's always shilling for your attention. Uh, and now you got two of the same case, right? But if it was this, uh, I mean, they didn't. I mean, they had so much stuff going on uh, with big stuff like politics that people are stressed about, who are now looking at politics, the debt ceiling they're going to do, but like the eviction moratorium and all this other stuff. I mean, they 10 years ago they would have loved this R. Kelly trial. They didn't even give that a lot of attention. They mentioned it at night, but the big stories was pandemics and Trump and right and these stories. But they're still telling you about movie stars. It's never too late for that because remember, movie stars are selling you a product, and these giant companies also have an entertainment industry, and they push movies and TV, you know, streaming services now, and some of them have record companies and radio stations, and those will always have your singers and artists, da 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 da. But that's not the most important shit you should be listening to, and they could easily push that back and give you, but no. Let's close this. Let's. All right. So, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Better customer service. What do you mean by better customer service? The people don't look. I mean, everything isn't De Blasio's fault. That town is just as rigged as Washington D.C. And people don't want change, even though they want to cry about it. Right? The police department needs to be fixed. Anybody want to fucking stand up? They'll all tell you, "Oh, that's outrageous. We don't want violence." Da, 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 da. But when it comes to changing anything, all of a sudden everybody's got a profound disinterest in doing it. Yeah, the whole situation is freaking bonkers. I mean, remember the cops riot. Well, you might not remember this, depending on how old you are. The cops rioted under Dinkins, called them a washroom attendant, right? All this racist shit. No one lost their job. I mean, it needs to be fixed. And my position is people. I think what stemmed people's hands from vengeance before was everybody in the black community was super religious and super taken with nonviolence and marching. Now no one marches, no one goes to church. Not people are like and nonviolent, whatever. Right? There's a lot of violence on these streets. Um, I think that's asking for some wild, unknown entity, you know, Svengali or whatever, to you know. I mean, it happened in the middle. I'm about to say the Middle West. It happened in the Middle East, right? Like everybody claims to be religious, but you know, a handful of people will tell you to go kill people, and they'll do it. They'll do it. So people have to have faith in the system, and like I said, it won't be about like taking over the country. It'll just be a tit for tat, fuck you kind of endeavor, and that's not what you want. What you want is to show that people should have faith in the government, and we read what the judges were doing yesterday, right? Ruling on cases they had a financial stake in. So it all looks like, why am I doing the right thing? And then they run up with people like, oh, look at this, you know, addict who cleaned their life up. Like, I'm glad they cleaned their life up, but there's a lot of people who aren't addict who can't get a break. What about them? Right? We're always pumping, like I say it on this show all the time. People are always being pimped for their emotional content, right? They want you to feel sad or happy for somebody else. But if you just want the brass tacks done, like I like to be able to go to school. Um, and by the way, I was always for like free college. Free community college is like 15 years too late. There should be a network of free colleges for young people, and maybe they'll pay it back by going and being a nurse in a poor neighborhood for like 2 years, or being a doctor in a poor, you know what I mean? But the idea that they make it possible to afford this shit, and then when you do get out, you owe like $500,000. I had two friends years ago. They graduated from Brown. Their debt together was $500,000, and their plan was to. This was a million years ago. I wonder what happened to those guys. Um, their plan was to bust their ass for 12 hours a day for the next 10 years and make partner. And I was like, don't y'all want kids? Can't afford kids. We've owed $500,000. I was like, wow. Wow. They got the opportunity. There are some people who will do exactly what they're supposed to. And sometimes that exactly what you're supposed to is not the good right thing to be doing. Really isn't. Um, Chinese Evergrande system. U.S. explorers offer to station troops on the Russian base near Afghanistan. What is going on here? Are the Russians? They're hacking us. Why would you be on their base while they're fucking with us? But it doesn't make any sense. Just like, why are we in business with China if China is fucking with us? You know, it's like me selling you something every day that you need and then fighting you at the same time. Why am I? It doesn't make any sense to me, and no one can explain it to me. Geopolitical double talk and blah 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 blah. Man, it doesn't make any sense. See, he was a gentle soul. Clippers mourn death of video assistant Asani Drame. I guess he worked for the Clippers, and now he's got an article in the like. How come everyone who dies in like Hollywood or in entertainment is always this sage of a person, right? Gentle soul, right? Every time someone is born, you watch TV. So and so, our video assistant just had a baby. They'll put the baby up there. It's all, it's so, like I said before, look, listen, I'm for, but the more emotional you are, the more you're just kind of like being yanked around. And you better watch it because then one day you'll feel exhausted and angry. You won't know why. And that's fucking one of the reasons, right? Some of these people are just ridiculous. We made it. Haitian learn from experience to reach the Mexico's Tijuana. Um, that's ballsy. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy, guilty of illegal campaign financing, receives a 1 year sentence. So the former president of France is going to prison. We in America have yet to send an American president to prison, and I don't think it's going to happen. So you can say all these mean things about Donald Trump. That is a nice house. The $500 million house no one is buying is $500 million. Give it to me. I'll make it a monastery. with new rules. You can bring your wife and kids as long as they follow and adhere to. Everybody learns an instrument and everybody gets an education. I guess it'd be a college then, right? But no, you have to give it so there's no tuition, and then they're compelled to go out and make better people. Does that make sense? All right. We've been fucking loopy today. We've been streaming for about 40 minutes. I don't like horror movies. Midnight Mass on Netflix, Nancy Pelosi. Boy, Kristen Cinema. I mean, you can look at this and see why nothing freaking gets done, quite frankly. Joe Biden. It's 7:30. He's likely been asleep for 4 hours by now. And what the hell is his wife doing? All of a sudden she goes quiet, which means she's mucking around in the government. It makes me crazy. Nobody votes for these people, and they just show up like they're entitled to do all this stuff. It really is freaky. Where is the house? Where is the house? What dost thou mean? This trendy Netflix show gives its classical music soundtrack a new. Like I look, you want good music, you want to steep yourself in some stuff before you take on learning an instrument. Um, Watch that Kim Burns music documentary. Country music is great. The jazz is great, but the country music, I like them both, but the country music is really freaking flippy and interesting. Should I turn this down a notch? Uh, the $500 million house. Yeah, let's look that up. All right. Uh, all right. So let's womp out. Womp womp womp. First of all, pretty good looking house. What is this nonsense? Get away, get away, get away. I'm afraid to even close that. Story continues. All right. So, do we want to open this image? No, don't want to set it as desktop background. Open image in a new tab. All right. So, let's get a good look at this thing. Look, California. Was that wine country? First of all, the whole place doesn't have any water and it's going to be on fire. Look at this green. This fake green. What is this for? You can get a nice man. They're richly different lives. All right. A $500 million. Let's make this one bigger too. Doot, doot. A $500 million Los Angeles, mega mansion called the One has gone into foreclosure because no one wanted to cough up the cash for the incomplete 105,000 square foot, 9,755 square meter building. The most expensive mansion, but no one bought it. $500 million. The most expensive mansion in the U.S. was put on the market in 2020, but after no buyers were identified, the price was lowered to $350 million earlier this year. I mean, wow, they even saying, wow, the ground is not. I mean, in a high real estate place where you could tear down the house and build something else. Yeah. I mean, how much is the land worth? The land is probably worth, what would you say, on a hill too? 50 million just for nothing on it, right? Just for the land. So you're asking people to come up with 300 million extra, and then what? They would spend another 25 to build a house on it. So that would be $125 million, and that's a lot. $1 billion, and it's incomplete. Sounds like a fucking Dodge. But then the pandemic hit. Some arrogant sheik would have bought it, but now people can't travel. Earlier this year, after no buyers were identified, the price was low to $350 million earlier this year. But even with the decreased price, finding someone to buy the building promoted as the largest urban property in the world remained difficult. The largest urban property. So it's bigger than warehouses, but you get to live in it as a mansion. The one has now gone into foreclosure after project developer Niall Niami defaulted on more than 100 million of debt and loans to finance the building. In 2018, he reportedly borrowed 82.5 million from Hankey Capital to finish the residence. He borrowed $85 million to finish the house. But you know what? I bet you he's not out on the street. I bet he's like, God damn it. Oh well. Whoever more caviar, whatever. He is not working at Walmart today. He caught. I mean, 85. Oh my goodness. In March 2021, a notice of default was sent, prompting the one to go into foreclosure sale. Mr. Niami was offered 90 days to pay or renegotiate the debt. Court documents show that the debt had reached around 110 million. Your debt is 110 million. No payment was provided before the deadline in July, prompting the one to be placed into court-ordered receivership. A video tour of the property posted in April suggests that the project was 4 weeks away from being finished, but the Manchester is ready to be sold. Boss Hunting reported. Theodore Lane of Lane's Manager Services is the receiver of the property. He told CNN that there's a pretty extensive list of things that need to be fixed. So now you can get a $350 million, $500 million house for 110 million. That's what he's out of it, right? Somebody might buy that because people buy $100 million mansions. Nobody buys $500 million mansions. Clearly, anything could fall. Anything that would fall under safety will have priority, he said. As for other projects, they're all being evaluated based on requirements to achieve the certificate of occupancy. If they are mandatory for a certificate of occupancy, they are getting a priority. So if you want to live there, certificate of occupancy, it needs running water, hot and cold running water. It needs a bathroom, needs sanitation. It needs heat and hot water. It needs to be livable. And then after that, you can put in a fucking helipad and an infinity pool, which isn't livable. It's nice to have, but it's not mandatory. This is a very complicated property and quite a few open issues, he added. At present, the focus is to obtain complete insurance. Hold on, wait a minute. They are very the focus is to obtain complete insurance and develop a timeline and budget to secure the certificate of occupancy in order to maximize value and make the property more marketable. Mr. Lane has been put in charge of settling the property's debt. The mansion has around $2 million in unpaid taxes and invoice from vendors for scaffolding, air conditioning, and concrete. What I would love to see happen is that the house get completed, the certificate of occupancy is awarded, and we have an orderly sale that maximizes the value. That's what I'd like to see. What I'd like to see is everything gets fixed and me get rich. Yeah, okay. Hopefully there will be sufficient proceeds. Here's the thing. It looks like it's obviously in some swanky ass neighborhood. So you can't use it for anything other than a house. Right? I would much rather buy a warehouse in a city and convert one floor to like living and then the rest to whatever. Right? And then you could have a club or a gym or whatever. It doesn't have to be a house. But this has to be a house. Insurance for the property ended earlier this year for social media challenges led to an uptick of people breaking into the mansion. The property covers 1.6 hectares of land in Bel Air. Well, there you have it. Nobody wants random people like me going to see this house walking through Bel Air, west of LA, with views all around the mansion. The property has 21 bedrooms and 42 bathrooms, with the master bedroom being 5,500 square feet. The fuck out of here. 5,500 square feet bedroom. How do you heat this place? You don't need to. It's California. But you know what? California doesn't have water, and everything's on fire. So I wouldn't be buying in California either. $500 million. Okay. The mansion also holds a garage for 50 cars. Oh man, when we start freaking grabbing the rich, it's gonna be so sweet because of dumb shit like this. I bet you these companies don't pay taxes. The mansion also holds a garage of 50 cars with 2 turntables to display luxury vehicles. This house sounds like it's straight out of GTA 5. Uh, a tennis court, a gym, a cinema with 30 seats. You know how many people you need to keep this place up? Look, it's nice to have a big house, but if you can't mow the grass and do a lot of this shit, it's just it. I think the world has shifted on this kind of shit. I don't begrudge millionaires, but when people are out here trying to pay for college and you're doing shit like this in a system that doesn't work, I get angry at the system and I get angry at you. Right? It's like if there was a drought and people were dying of thirst, and you've got a giant swimming pool and a giant garden that you water every day. I'm like, look at these fucking people, and this is where we are. The mansion holds a garage for 50 cars with 2 turntables to display luxury vehicles, a tennis court, a gym, tennis court, gyms, and cinemas with 30 seats. 30 seats is, I thought it was normally 15, right? But that's fine. This all right here seems fucking fine to me. The 50 cars seems a little bit ridiculous. A bowling alley, which you could use for, if you could transport it into something else, you could use that 50-car garage space. A bowling alley with 4 lanes, a library, a wine cellar, capable of holding 10,000 bottles, 10,000 bottles of fucking wine, 5 swimming pools, a spa. Why would you, if you lived if it was your house and you bought this, why would you fucking need 5 swimming pools? You only have, oh my God, all right. A spa deck, a sky deck. Okay, let's look at what a sky deck is because it sounds like a deck on the roof. See the sky deck? So you hang over half of it and you could, all right, so it's like a glass enclosure to look over the landscape. Sky deck. How about what is a sky deck? Because what is, I've never heard of this. What is a sky deck? Sky deck is a new way to meet people who like taking pictures and others. What? Okay, sky deck. It's an observation deck. All right. They just call it a sky deck. All righty then. Thank you. With a golf putting green, I knew all that fucking green was for golf. A so-called philanthropy wing for 200 people and an in-house nightclub. A philanthropy wing. You got to put some shit like that in your cell of this, because I'm sure the people around you are like, oh, I hate these people. Back to my $3 an hour job, and you know, these people who make sure that you can't unionize. Look, it's not about hating the rich, but it is about hating this arrogance. This is fucking arrogant. Excuse my language. This is gosh darn arrogant. A wine cellar and a fucking philanthropy wing. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I I gave them everything here, Mr. Niami sent in the video. We have everything anyone could want in this house. Now, if all this shit was on my spaceship as I went to Andromeda, I would totally get it. But yeah, it's for 200 people, philanthropy wing. You might want to call that the security room with 200 soldiers in it to protect you. I gave them everything here. We have everything that anyone could ever want in this house. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of money. They want something no one else can have. He told CNBC in 2000, this is it. He sounds like a salesman. So now you get a giant house like this, and all these other people in giant houses have to look at your extra super giant house and make themselves feel poor. I feel like a loser. My house is only worth $40 million. What the fuck? His house is worth $500 million. God damn, I should have learned the code. Hey, Snow Bunny, good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. I hope you're well. I hope everything's going good for you. We've been streaming for 55 minutes and we're talking about this house. I wonder if we can find more images of it that went into foreclosure because no one wanted to buy it for $500 million. Mega mansion. Whew. Oh, good Lord. How about this $500 million? There's got to be other pictures. Is there something online of it? Shopping image video. Where's video? God dang it. God dang it. All right, look at this house. It looks very much like the house in the Avengers. Except it's not on a cliffside. This could be America's most expensive home ever if it can find a buyer. 7 years in the making. 500 million California mansion will test ultra June 29th, 2020. This is last year. This is a year and 8 months ago, and today is in foreclosure. Look at this freaking picture. Hold it. We can do this. Wow. Wow. Open image in new tab. All right. Let's see if we can get some. First of all, LA is beautiful. Look at the mountains back there. All right, so I guess it's a guardhouse, right? What is this? There's a ledge. This is grass. All right. There's a deck up here. What is this for? It's just concrete, grass. Well, first of all, there's not a lot. Maybe the whole thing is internal. There's not a lot going on. Oh, there's not a lot going on outside this place. Look at this. This is the road. Maybe it's all under here, but this all looks like concrete. And in a world of satellites and drones, you can't lay out with your goods hanging out like you used to in the 60s, right? It's not really an awesome design, quite frankly. Oh, this is a guy who put all the money into it. Look at him. It's too big. Look at him. Whew. Look at this place. First of all, let's look at this again. Look at everyone else's mansion. So this is his whole thing, and this is their tiny little mansion. His mansion is as big as, I want to say, 25 of these other mansions. Wow. In the coming class struggle, it's going to be your ass if you live there. Do you own this land so you can go wandering around and hunt pheasant? Yeah. Yeah. When I was a young person, I used to I wanted to be so many things. I used to yeah, it doesn't look awesome. No matter what, I mean, yeah, this doesn't look awesome. And they put green so people can have a putting green. I guess over here is if I'm over here doing something stupid and you're hanging out with me, how am I going to find you in a house this big? The whole point is about social connection to people. It's not, I mean, this is the opulent bullshit. America's most expensive home hits the market for 340 million January 12, 20, a year after that last thing we saw. So these are, I guess, little pools. This is this is another pool with what not verandas. What do you call those things that you lay in? Loungers. I'm just trying to get look how big the trees are. I'm just trying to get like a loose sort of size variant of what's going on here. So these help me out a lot because people lay here. So, but these are too big to be tables. They're pools, obviously, in a place that has no water. Oh, shot. Well, I'm sure the shots from the inside of this place are at. See, they put grass on this concrete, and you get two giant fucking palm trees. No, 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 no. I'm gonna eat like 8 palm trees. I want to be able to lay in here and have, no matter what time of day it is, have a lot of the sun blocked. If I'm gonna be this schmoozy of a bitch, right? So I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this whole place needs to be palm trees. I need to be out here walking around butt naked with my bait and tackle hanging out. What was I saying? When I was younger, I used to love to read Architecture's Digest. Because they would show you all these homes that I am never going to be able to be anywhere near. And you dream, man, what if, right? Every generation of kids has new millionaires, right? So it could be you. And people, wow, look at this. This is how it was in the beginning. Huh. Excuse me. When is this? November 10, 2015. All right. What else is here? Look at this. This is what the trees were gonna be. See them? It's amazing. The living and dining areas will be open to a courtyard with palm trees. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, let's make this bigger. Um, that should do it. All right. One, about half the tennis court had to be built on pylons to account for the land contour. This niche will have a covered viewing area and a fire pit. So the tennis court is built on pylons. Two, the infinity pool for the guest house. There's an infinity pool for the guest house, which then built with 500 square foot. So the guest house is a mansion in and of itself. Oh my God. Does everybody, well, I guess it's California. Everybody swims or surfs, right? Three, okay, over here. The motor court and the main house entrance. Am I in frame? I need to be in frame. The motor courts, the, the motor court, I guess that's where the conveyor belt is. And the main house entrance hall, a fire display will greet guests as they step inside. A fire display, very primal, very elemental. The Giga Mansion, main guard gate 4. This is the main. Oh, so you're driving off the road here because there are cars outside of the place. So you're driving here, and from here you can sort of. Okay, so there's a guard. So you need guards. Um, there will be a separate area with monitors for keeping an eye on the whole estate. Obviously, the property will be surrounded on 3 sides by a moat and other water features, which will make the whole thing appear to be floating. Okay. That was 5. The property will be surrounded by a moat. This is the moat in a place with no water. Okay. The property will be surrounded by a moat on 3 sides. 1, 2. This is the first side. So this is 1, 2, I guess 3. All right. The sky deck 6 is here. Okay. So it's on the roof, like I said. As Naomi refers to it, we'll have putting green, a bar, a lounge area, and covered loggias. What is loggia?
Loggia.
Loggia. A gallery or room with one or more open sides, especially one that forms part of a house and has one side open to the garden. Really? That sounds awesome. That and a skylight. Oh, it's like a oh, it's like like a balcony essentially. If it's up high, but if on the ground, it's like a Covered walkway. Oh, that is, yeah, okay. This is fucking awesome. Ew. What it's like to be gay in Russia. I guess painful. Why do you care what Kanye West bought? Nope. All right, so a $350 million mansion. Y'all need to calm down. That's all I gotta say. Um, Sweet Jeebus. Wow. $350 million. Biden's. I was watching Biden's numbers, and they're sinking. He's only his. I've got a mosquito bite right on my arm. He's only above water with black people and college educated women. And I'm sitting here like, huh? But that's it. Everyone else he's underwater with. The majority of Democrats obviously support him, but when you begin to parse the numbers, man charged with murder and golf club killings. Didn't we read this last year? They found 3 bodies in a white pickup truck, right? A guy had killed 2 people, drove the pickup truck onto a golf course. One of the golf pros walked up, was like, "What the fuck is going on with this pickup truck on the golf green?" And then the guy shot him. Uh, yeah, this is a guy. He killed 3 people, September 29, 2021. What the ever loving? What is going on with these fucking people? What is going on? I mean, you cease to be a fucking news organization. Yeah, anyway, that's the guy who I'm sure we can still find it. Golf club killing. July 26, 2021. This is a totally different case. This is a totally different case. A man is set to appear in court for striking and killing another man with a golf club. Of course. Police took Patrick Wayne McCarthy, 53, into custody on Monday and was charged for murdering, according to the charged for murder, according to the charging document. During the incident, which happened around 11 a.m. at 2412 Amelia Plaza in Southwest Houston, come on, guys, get your shit together. McCarthy struck the victim, Anthony Wayne Jackson, with a golf club several times. Ooch. With intent, of course, with intent. He struck him several times. Police say charging document said McCarthy was previously convicted of burglary. Yeah, but why did he hit him? This is how you write a story? Why did he hit him? What was the point of the you people fucking suck. Yeah, who wrote this? Of course, Anna Gonzalez. Get your shit together, Anna Gonzalez. For fucking crying out loud. All right, so let's check out the racism in the comments, shall we? Does he get to wear the green jacket? Okay, and the comedy in the comments. No, he will be awarded the orange jacket with matching orange trim. McCarthy themed. Them darn Irish are just out of control. He sure looks like your typical golfer, doesn't he? Maybe he's just demonstrating his swing. Another senseless death with golf club. This shows the immediate need for common sense of golf control, golf club control. Yeah, okay. I like this. When should we ban golf? Yeah, see, these are all the fucking knuckleheads. Yeah. That went a lot. That that comment section went a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It is Thursday. It is 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast here of America. Um, it helps to write out the note, not the notes, but like the chords on a song. I gotta tell you, my arpeggios is trash. Uh, man, I've really got bit, and now it's bothering me. Um, that's all right. We're only young once, right? All right, so um, Bel Air, no water, everything's on fire. His best bet is to hope that a fire sweeps. Well, not too. It's too late now. They took control of it. But a week ago, his best bet would have was to have built it somewhere near the, the fires. Here's the thing about this thing. Let's look at this Astro Robot. Another thing no one really fucking asked for, but it's supposed to be your precursor to like R2D2, right? It's supposed to follow you around and ask you shit. But the sad thing is, everything you say to your phone or around your phone gets picked up and is recorded somewhere. Now, do I really want this thing following me around? But we all wanted, man, I got bit real good. We all want like an R2 unit, but you know, in that universe, I guess those things don't spy on their makers. Even though there's enough sense in them that they can tell you to, like, you can tell them to do something, they can go carry it out. Look at this thing. Yeah, it's supposed to be your personal R2 unit. Let's put this up. Oh, there you go. Scanning. I mean, it can only be in the house. Why is she smiling at it like it's a dog? I guess she's smiling at the one on camera. It's all very weird. That's that. Um, Amazon is rolling out literally a robot that can help monitor your home, powered by Amazon Alexa and a bunch of artificial intelligence (AI) technology. While patrolling about it, while patrolling about on a set of wheels, the Astro robot can handle numerous tasks, from providing a view of inside the home when you're out delivering a message to your mom. Okay, keep dogs and cats company, I guess. The robot carries the same name as the dog from the Jetsons, but its simple face rolling mechanism and of course advanced tech makes it much more similar to Rosie. Amazon's Astro relies on all AI sensors, computer vision, and voice. This is not critical. Astro will ultimately be available for $1,449.99, $1,500. There's a $999 version, introductory price as part of Amazon's Day One edition. I don't want one of those things fucking following me around. Absolutely not. This is what it looks like. But you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me get me out of there. Look at this thing. Here's the thing. In 30 years, this thing is going to be completely different, right? Remember, TVs were once in black and white, right? 3 channels. Now you cannot get away from a television set. Uh, yeah. All right. I guess that is it. Please like and subscribe. Join us tomorrow, where we will talk about goofiness of the day. Um, wow, $500 million for a house nobody wants. Uh, doesn't make any sense. and someone gave him an additional $82 million to finish it. All right. Meanwhile, the only people who pay taxes are the poor. Tell you, it's not looking good for the oligarchies. They need to come across with something that we average folks want, and I think we average folks want better healthcare, a little accountability. Um, Better healthcare, a little accountability, uh, education reform, right? You know that woman who did like 2 weeks in jail is back to acting? It really is outrageous. I mean, oh, good Lord. You should not be able to go back to your high class, like go retire with the money you made. But the idea that you're showing up again, like, I'm an artist, is it, no, you're not writing stuff. You're not, I don't know, man. Ugh. What's her name? Lori. GAC Family Series. So she's going back to making family television. It really is that's just the worst. All right, well, it is what it is. And people are already over the college admission scandal like it never happened. Her kids on TV dancing with the fucking stars. Ugh. All right, well. America is such a shady place. And it gets more arrogantly shady. That's the thing, where you're just kind of like, oh, how is this a thing that we do here? We do it here because it's worth money. Yeah, well, a lot of evil shit is worth money. We shouldn't be doing it though. Then all of a sudden you're a beatnik or a tree hugger. We're coming down to the last tree, people. And Congress will be debating whether you should make the last tree paper or toothpicks. You can sell toothpicks, and the other people are like, no, knowledge, like you shouldn't be destroying the last tree in the fucking first place. What are you guys talking about? And then one of the two corporations, the paper manufacturer or the fucking toothpick people, will influence Congress, and then they'll just be shredded and made into likely a book about how the world ended. Oh my gosh. Oh, good Lord. I've got water in my ear still. All right. So we have been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. I guess. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to see if I can get this down. All right. So we are going to end this here, unless we have some. Do we have anything else? Do we have anything else? Anybody in the chat have anything good or interesting? Lucid to start deliveries of electric cars with range exceeding Teslas in October. The electric car rate, I mean, I don't know. I'm of a different generation, so electric cars are like, I mean, I know they're good for us, but I hope that they'd be stylish and sporty or fashionable. And I sort of wish that we were all on board with this new way of doing things, right? So by that I mean, while they're doing electric cars, they're also doing uh, better. Um, what are some of the things? Better like environmental care, right? They're dealing with plastic. They're making it easier to get educated. It's really kind of like a a renaissance of people going, oh yeah, maybe we got enough money and enough people, and it we should stop running the place like it's not just last century, but like the last 10, not 10,000 years, the last 1,000 years, since about like the 1500s, right? 1492, being greedy for like since the 1200s. Maybe we should sort of, pull what we got to see if we can get to the next level. Leave some of these people out, like Afghanistan, like Russia and China, but maybe they'll look over there and go, huh, they're really actually fucking doing it. Maybe we want to be part of that, right? But now it's all just seems like sketchy bullshit, people stealing money from the treasury, knowing full well that you and I and that guy and that girl don't have any power to stop them other than the vote. And I think that a lot of people argue that, Americans voting is squiffy. It really is squiffy. Ronda Rousey had a baby. She named it. Who's her baby's father? She named it La Akia Makalapuakualaniapo Brown. Okay. Your last name is Brown. Yep. What's your first name? Lakia. Okay. Got a middle name? Just M. Well, how do you spell it? Makalapuakalaipo. Lakia Yakapakapo. That kid's gonna be 12 before he learns his name. People are ridiculous. That volcano is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Accused Georgia spa shooter pleads not guilty to 4 murder charges. You know what? I think people get drugged up on the idea of shooting up the joint and being ridiculous. And then after they do it and they're caught, it's just 30 years of being carted around by lawmen with guns in handcuffs from cell to cell. And you're like, huh, I guess that's it. This is my life now. Right? Huh. I guess I should have thought about the aftermath and not be so drunk on it. It's not like a hangover where you're over it in a day or two, you idiots. It really is not. Man who killed 5 in Capitol Gazette shooting gets multiple life sentences. Yeah. The whole situation is ridiculous. I mean, there's always people like that, right? That can be influenced by radio and TV and all this stuff. Who the hell is that? Yeah, all right. Well, I guess that's it. There's nothing else going on. Um, I will say that the NFL is losing viewers, and that's because you put everything behind a fucking paywall, you greedy pieces of shit, and you affected your revenue. If it was back on NBC, CBS, ABC, you wouldn't be bleeding viewers. And I think that's a problem that we're going to have in like 20 years with the next group of scientists. Star Trek should be on broadcast television, influencing little kids to be sciencey, right? And disciplined militarily, right? And no one cares. So you know why. Stop acting like you lost a thread. Everybody knows why. Dog the Bounty Hunter joins search for Brian Land. Here's the thing about Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's a convicted felon. He can't carry a weapon. So everybody around him, he carries a giant can of mace in like a freaking holster. And that bounty hunting shit is only allowed in America. Mexico will arrest you for kidnapping, and so will Canada. It's unique to our constitution, so don't get crazy. Died of a drug overdose, Michael K. Williams. It's sad. The best of black stories on Netflix. Here's the thing: they're black actors, in these stories. They're not black stories. I mean, let's not get it crazy. Just because you have a section of black entertainment on your platform does not mean that the writers, the producers, directors, and the small art houses that did them were black, right? They're just the faces of what we always see and people are unhappy about. All right, ooh, look at this. I need to charge this phone. All right, so I guess that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming through, William. It's always good seeing you, man. Uh, thanks for coming through, Kristen, Snow Bunny, uh, and thanks Ed for Ed. I'm sorry. Thanks Edward for coming through. Uh, we could wrap this up in 2.5 minutes at exactly the 1:30 mark. And it'll also be 8:15. Yeah, so I was a little late, a tad late. Um, I got caught up in that and doing other stuff. Uh, sorry. I'll try and be better on my game. I always have trouble wrapping it up. I should write out a wrap up because I always like, did I say everything I want to say? I want to say goodbye, but also this, it's just I should just be able to go. My fellow Americans, I implore you to show up tomorrow for tomorrow's broadcast. In conclusion, thank you. Right? That's all very succinct and perfect, but I'm always sort of rambling and rattling it off. So, anyway, remember, we're here every day, Monday through Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Please come on through, like and subscribe. I'm True Army, your man, your homie. Uh, and we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch and Haps, and it was a good day. It was a good day so far. And I guess that puts us at the end of this broadcast, right? Uh, I want to thank everybody, and I want to remind you that tomorrow is Friday. Friday is the start of your weekend. Try and do something for you. It's not about being paroled from work for 2 days, right? It's like trying to do something interesting. I always say, go for a hike. It shouldn't be about spending money, seeing a movie, or buying dinner. Try and cook something that you haven't cooked in a while. Cook something you've never cooked before. Cook for a bunch. I normally make this for me. Now I'm gonna make it for 20, not 20 people. I'm gonna make it for like 5 people in my family, right? Sort of have some fun with your life because these weekends should not just be respites from work. They should be you building memories with like your best homies and your best girlfriends and your best puppy and your best cat, right? Call your parents, call your brothers and sisters, let the world know that you appreciate them. Uh, and don't let the stuff that you're supposed to be raging at actually make you rage at it because some of this is ridiculous. The fix is in on some of it. Um, but nothing stays that way forever, right? So you may be the fix to the fix. You may be able to fix it, right? I want to thank everyone who came through. Uh, this is the end of this one. Catch us in the next one, and the next one is tomorrow, and tomorrow at 6:30, and tomorrow is your Friday. Start it early. I give you full permission to leave work like 20 minutes early. Don't tell anybody, but 20 minutes early, get out of there, beat the traffic, get home, get in your comfortable eating clothes, and get set to enjoy your weekend. I want to thank all of you. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Peace.